Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Masters Monday podcast. I'll give you 3 guesses of the primary subject
You're being really generous.
matter of this
I don't think
podcast.
anybody needs any guesses about the biggest topic that we have going on, probably ever, unprecedented.
Working your glutes.
No,
How to build a bigger chest.
no.
What do you think it is?
Babe, it's coronavirus, and I know we're making light of it right now, but COVID-19 is rocking our world, and I know tons of people have very different opinions, and it's sad because I feel like we're getting information, because that's the generation we are now. Information generation, we get it instantly.
Where do we get it from?
Everywhere.
In our hand.
In our hands,
which
in our ears.
is very biased, most of it.
Well, most of it, but you don't know what
But
to
it's
believe
one direction or
anymore.
the other bias.
Yeah.
It's not biased in one direction. It's really incredible.
Well,
sitting
so
back
it leads
wondering.
up to a lot of confusion. I mean, even to the point where we know that we should probably be social distancing, and then we're second guessing it, like, oh, I'm fine. I'm not going to buy into that. But like, really, what if? And that's my big thing. I'm a cautious girl. I like to make sure that.
And I'll be damned if we're going to be the people that are like, and then all of a sudden we're sick.
So we know that all of you are dealing with the COVID-19 virus in your community, in your home, and maybe you have friends and family that live out of town or out of the country. And, you know, we are really deeply hoping for the best outcome through all of this. But what we wanted to talk about today.
You know that the listening of podcasts could like quadruple over the next 14 to 20 days.
I hope it's ours.
Think about it.
Yeah. You can
We're
help.
going to increase our listening to
Hopefully.
podcasts for sure.
Yeah,
So maybe
absolutely.
this is a good time for you to hang out and listen.
But the whole thing that COVID-19 is affecting, the biggest, I think, of I'm not going to say the biggest. Everybody's being impacted, but fitness industry is being impacted, and how people are really going to be impacted in their own fitness, personal care, and health and well-being. Like, how does being potentially stuck within
Partially
your home,
quarantined.
yeah, to your home.
You know what I mean? Like, and then partial, I'm just going to say partial because we're not there yet. We aren't there yet. We're still getting out and doing things outside.
Wow.
And we're still going to the gym, not as much as we were.
It hasn't been mandated yet,
right.
but I
Right,
wonder.
it may be coming.
It may be coming. So what happens then? So we have a bunch of fitness professionals that are affected.
Greatly. So really the business aspect of the effect on fitness and also the personal fitness aspect is really what we're going to discuss just for 5 minutes or so.
And the one or maybe 2 businesses that are not hurting at all.
Yeah, we're going to get there
yeah.
too, because there
So-
are some fitness businesses that are absolutely thriving as a result of this, as bizarre as that may sound. So anyway, let's talk about the business aspect first, right? We currently work in a local gym that we absolutely love and adore. And we're also working with a project in New York City, which is a very different result and response. So it's really interesting. Very small market where we live in Melbourne, Florida, and then a very large market, New York City, the Mecca, if you will, when it comes to fitness studios, and they're making dramatic changes. So, but the financial impact will be very big. The impact to the tentative nature of the clients not attending as much, adjusting schedules, the number of available offerings every day to train in the boutique studio world, and also the personal training clients just avoiding the gyms altogether. So there's just the revenues in multiple different avenues are going to go way down. Some will disappear momentarily,
Right.
while the business of fitness corrects and waits kind of for that infamous 14 to 21 day to 30 day period to resolve.
Whenever
So-
people feel safe enough going out there, and it's the unknown, and that can cause a lot of stress. So the whole thing that we want people to do is actually keep moving until we have what Italy and Spain and I believe France have implemented, which is at home quarantine, can't leave, and shutting down the city. Like, we have to use what we have, which if we can, get into a studio where we feel really safe, and you have enough space around you, and you feel like you're doing everything you can, and so is the gym or studio in which you're going to make sure that their members are safe. And
I don't think there's a fitness business right now that I can think of. We're not talking to all of them, of course, because there are tens of thousands, but what we know nationally, everybody is adjusting.
Yes.
Not necessarily the personal training aspect of it, either the clients are probably less apt to go, so that impacts it, but the group fitness world are making some very similar adjustments with capacity restrictions to their classes, so you can have your 5 to 6 foot of spacing between clients. So all these things, though, when you minimize capacity or participation, that's going to directly impact the financial part of the business. And we want these fitness businesses to not only stay open, but we want them to thrive when this is over with, which we joked about earlier. Remember what we were talking about?
Yeah.
There may be a big rebound.
There might be.
We might be so stir crazy in 3 to 4 weeks that everybody just rushes out when everything feels safe and goes absolutely crazy.
Well, we crave that contact.
Fitness.
We're
Yeah,
social
we'll see.
society, and we crave that contact, and we form relationships that turn into more like a family. We see them probably at the gym more often than we do see our own family. But some of the things that we talk about, like how do you stay safe as an instructor, a fitness professional, and a member, I feel like everyone is really responsible for taking care of their own space, right? I mean, you can't just expect that it's all cleaned up for you.
Yeah,
when it's
operational,
all done.
yes.
Yeah, so just clean it before and after. Like, leave it better than you came in. That's always been my motto. You want to leave something that's, but we heard something that was really interesting today from your best friend. And
my buddy Pete Keaty in Florida, he actually runs 4 fitness businesses that are wildly successful. And it's interesting. It was unique, and it was when you take your heart rate up to 80, 90 is close to maybe maximum capacity of your heart rate, where you're literally, you're right, and you're voluntary suffocation for sure, right? Is that necessarily a great idea in group fitness? So is toning down the level of inhale and exhale
at this time of like with the current
for
situation,
sure, absolutely, no,
it
just
is
for this moment,
but not right now.
But I think it's a very subtle thing. But I do think it has some merit, and so anyway, I taught a cycling class this morning, and I recommended to them work hard, completely stay in control, and avoid this huge gaping mouth breathing where you're shooting your breath 5-6 feet, in front of you. As we've seen, the research is that our breath and exhale can work to that extent. So I did recommend it, and for the most part, I think a big part of it, the clients listened and appreciated it. And they got a hall pass for not necessarily going to 90 to 95% of the max heart rate on the higher intensity intervals that we had today in class. But there was definitely a mood from me on the microphone teaching today to keep it hard work, but very much under control, and you could breathe through your nose if you needed to, instead of the big mouth breathing. So anyway, unique.
You probably might see maybe some group instructors pulling stuff outside, and I feel like as long as you have that distance between, that's probably the best thing, to have that fresh air and sunshine, not just
We're
because,
in Florida, honey.
Right, not just because of the germs, but also because it's so beautiful outside in a lot of areas.
Yeah.
It's springtime. I know we have allergies. It's a lot, but if you can get outside and do that, and if you see that your gym is trying to do stuff more outside participation, try it out, and it's just for everybody's own good. But if they decide they are going to, say, no, this is what we have and you cannot go outside, just so we don't spread it, and then mitigating, and they decide to shut down the city, like that looks so different now for everybody, and people can take 1 or 2 paths of staying in shape, or deciding, screw it, I'm super anxious, and when I'm anxious I eat, and when I eat I feel like crap, and I don't want to exercise, even if that means like doing push-ups in the living room floor.
Cabin fever's real. It is going to be very real for everybody, and you're going to have so many opportunities to listen to people like us talking about solutions that you can do while you have this cabin fever and you're stuck
in your home.
But we're not trying to oversimplify things, but truly, it is quite easy to keep your body moving, to still sweat, to move. We were just joking earlier, a 30-minute yoga, pull up a nice little yoga flow class on your phone and on your app, and
the workout that I used to create, I used to laugh about that. I'd be it doesn't matter if you don't have a ton of space in your home, people would say, can you come to my house? I don't have a lot of stuff and I don't have a lot of equipment. And I'm like,
don't worry.
do you have a floor and do you have a yoga mat? Because I can literally
Do you have a
kick your ass
6 foot
right
by
there.
3 foot space?
Yeah.
And believe me, it's game on.
It's game
But
on.
there's a lot, you're going to get inundated. We're not here to tell you how to program and how to do that. You can reach out to us personally after the podcast, and if you need help with that or assistance with that. That's not what this is about. But I do want to talk quickly about the at-home solutions piece. And all joking aside, the at-home technology-based fitness companies, maybe such as a Mirror or a Peloton, they're thriving and they're going to thrive. Similar companies that have the resources and the technology and the bandwidth to do it, they're going to absolutely explode for the next 3 to 4 weeks. Now, the dark side of that is the independent personal trainer, the independent group fitness instructor that's making a living teaching cycling classes or HIIT type style classes or yoga classes, they're going to take a big financial hit.
Right.
And these guys do it for the passion and love of fitness and health and being part of a community, and they love people first and foremost. They're going to take a big financial hit, sometimes a huge, like very impacting financial hit. So just know that there is a dark side. I don't really have a solution for that.
Well, I actually do. I just kind of thought about it. So just like we're doing a lot of different creative things to keep people safe inside the studios and gyms, right? We're, distancing people, putting on every other bikes, or trying to keep them spread apart. So if a trainer says, hey, I may not be able to train you in the studio, if that gets to that. If you have a trainer that's willing to write up a program for you based on your needs, and maybe does a little video and shoots the video over to you and says, these are the 2 dumbbells you have, this is the program that you have to work with today, or they do an on-demand kind of thing, use them first. Use your local independent personal trainer who knows you, who knows your body, who is not going to say, okay guys, let's go ahead and do tricep dips and burpees when they don't know if you have a bulging disc or a shoulder impingement issue. They don't know that, and you just want to work so badly that you're going to do exactly what they do on that screen, and they have no idea who you are and your body, and we want to keep people safe. So if you have the opportunity to train with a trainer, even on a cell phone or a laptop, just ask them. Say, hey, I want to work out with you. And I'm sure, like, I'm trying to do this with my clients when it gets to that point, but maybe it's a half a session that you pay for, that you're getting a discount because you're not right there. But at least
it could be a live session.
It could be, a live session, but just distanced at a park. So think of the ways how you can use your trainer still to keep that personal business or even small group chain.
Yeah, because it's going to be big. I mean, when I say significant, I may be even an understatement for the next 3 to 4 weeks, and how the independent, very passionate, wonderful, lovable trainer, fitness instructor that you know and have used for years, they're going to be hurting pretty good. So I think it's a good thing. That was a great point.
Well, the other thing I think, is there anything good that can come about this? And we talked about this the other day. I made a post like, tell me something good that can come from being quarantined. But there are so many things that you can do. It's a controlled environment if you're going to do a fast or a cleanse, right? And that's actually saving food.
Your cooking should increase by like 3 times.
Healthy cooking.
The amount of food that you cook. And if you cook your own food, tell them, Kerry.
You make sure that it's clean and
And sometimes you don't have to cook it. We were talking carrots and hummus.
Yeah.
No cooking required.
Exactly.
Just dip and eat. But anyway, you could, hypothetically, not so hypothetically, clean up your diet tremendously because you're taking away the restaurant food.
Because let's think about this. We know that it's not an old person's virus. It's an unhealthy attacker. It's a vulture virus that attacks the people that may be dealing with pre-existing conditions, medical conditions, pulmonary conditions. But here's the deal. It also affects those that are obese, and the United States has the highest obesity rate in all the countries, and it hasn't hardly even gotten here. So if there's ever a platform to get people to start taking care of themselves, it no longer is aesthetic or because that's what we visually need.
You hope. Right? I think it's an optimistic view, and I share your optimism, honey.
And my passion.
I do. I share your passion too. But I think hopefully there are a few tens of thousands of people who will be like, you know what? I don't want to be this scared because I'm in horrible shape with heart
Yes.
disease and I'm smoking and I have, the beginnings of emphysema or whatever. Maybe this will motivate a couple of
That's
thousand
my point.
people to
Yes.
go, I don't want to be this nervous and scared. I want to take these things on head on
Yes.
with a crazy ass immune system, which, by the way, if I can take 30 seconds,
Sure, please.
I am not seeing enough at all until this morning professional doctors speaking about building your immune system up. What have you been hearing the whole time?
Well, only from trainers who are desperately trying to reiterate all the things that we've been trying
I
to
understand.
do. Yeah.
I
But you're
understand.
right.
But
It's-
99.9% of this coronavirus content and dialogue, whether it's social media, the news, whatever, I don't hear building your immune system up. Something as simple as take 1,000 units of vitamin C every day. Like just simple stuff. But this morning was the first time I saw an actual doctor speaking about building up your immunity, which I think is absurd that that's not a prevalent piece
Right.
of it. But I'm telling you, and I don't know if y'all listening share that, but I haven't heard it.
I think to me it's just the culture. It's we're reactive, and only now have we, and maybe everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Maybe we're going to start to be a little bit more proactive with how we take care of things, even starting back from, all right, everyone, I just talked about this the other day. Everyone's like, let me go ahead and dose up on that vitamin C. I'm going to start taking echinacea, but they're still smoking, they're drinking excessively, they're not getting enough sleep, and they're totally stressed out.
Pretty much
That's only
leveling
gonna-
out your
yeah.
vitamins.
It's
Yeah, you
only
just-
it's not going to bring you up, and it's
Yeah.
really hard to get from like bad to good. It's easier to get from good to great, and that's and then
It's a shorter line, for sure. It's a shorter line.
So
yeah.
if anything, you're going to be at home, try to sleep better, try to read more, try to breathe, meditate.
Well, let's get to that because
Okay.
you're bleeding right in perfectly. This is a
Perfect.
perfect lead in.
I meant to
3
do that.
ways.
I did.
She's gorgeous. She's smart. She's fit. I don't know.
I'm
I
really
did good. I did real good.
embarrassed now.
3 ways to take advantage of this partial quarantine. Now, the first item on the list is get outside and breathe it in. I know we touched on it for a few seconds earlier, but we really mean this. Like, we know that every different part of the country has a different weather system. We get that. But man, if you can take advantage. If you got a bike that's been sitting in your garage for 3 years and has a lot of cobwebs on it, dust that sucker off, take it and get it tuned up, get it back a day later, and get out on that bicycle and go do stuff. Get yourself outside.
Right.
And there's not a darn thing wrong with a really healthy, fit person who can run 20 miles going out for a 3-mile walk with their significant other.
Well, we talked about this the other day in the last podcast when we were in Alabama on the road. We talked about showing your children how to this is a really great way to get them to participate.
Because it's going to get
so
rough.
that they can mirror and
It's going to get rough with
You need to
teenagers,
run out-
y'all.
oh gosh,
and it doesn't have to be
3-year-old boys.
teenagers. It can be from 1 to 18.
toddlers.
Oh my goodness.
If y'all have toddlers and
Good luck, y'all.
Or boys and girls, and
It's
we're
going to
about
be rough.
It's
So
gonna be
wear
rough.
their butts out, get them outside, get them in shape, get them fit. I know
Simon
that my
says-
son, I have 2 big time athletes, 16 and 18 years old, my children. And my son's baseball season is cut down for 3 weeks. No baseball. What's this kid going to do?
Teenage boys with surging testosterone being limited on their activities. It doesn't
Go
sound-
read a book.
Yeah,
okay,
okay.
Dad. Gotcha. All right. Another one. Organize your life and your house like a boss. Now, I know this one's pretty darn organized. Me, not so much. But this one's crazy organized. So she's taking advantage of already today of getting the house incredibly organized. And I'm talking about label makers and stuff. We're going that deep, all right? But this is a great opportunity to do it because you know darn well there's things in your garage, in your house that you've been wanting to organize for potentially years. Take advantage of it.
There's a lot that can be, it can come from this that's kind of good and positive, even though it's just really, it's whether this does not turn out to be something so severe and traumatic, we don't know. But I do feel like these times are not fleeting. I think they're going to start happening more often in the future as there's more people and more viruses spread and they mutate
The world's getting smaller and smaller.
Yeah, exactly.
It really is
growing. So, I do feel like there is a lot of good that can come from this, and being at home and being able to slow down. Everyone just needs to slow down. There's so much good that can come from that if we change our attitudes and stop blaming and just accept that this is how it is.
Yeah, and just use common sense. I've heard it 1,000 times on the news.
And you're going to get the best or the worst out of people.
Well, what we're seeing is, okay, grocery stores, there's not a ton of common sense out there. Unfortunately.
I'm going to go with the fact that people are hoarding all this toilet paper because they're going to donate to everyone.
Sure, that's what it is,
just
honey.
go with
In
that.
2 weeks, they're going to donate.
Because people are generous and kind out there.
Can we get
right?
back to the organizing your life and your house and do all that? Anyway, great opportunity to do that. Communicate with family about life, their future, all of your future, the goals for everyone in the family, right? You could even come up with your own personal mission statement. You can do it for the family, you can do it for yourself. Those are fun to do with businesses that you're launching, right? Create that mission statement and that vibe. You can do the same thing with your family. Give your gift away. There was a wonderful post on social media about 6 months ago, and it said, the greatest thing to do is identify your gift, but the even greater thing is to give it away.
Share it.
And share that gift. And so, what is your gift?
What is your gift?
What is my gift? I've been told to the ability to connect and verbalize ideas that are clear and just have a lot of clarity. So complicated ideas.
He's a great educator. His
complicated,
gift is communication through words and education.
Fine. She said that
and
better.
He's handsome.
But so we all have our thing, right? Whatever it is. It could be business. It could be a personal gift. It could be a gift of charity and giving, but this is a great time to identify it for your whole family. And I'm working on my kids because it's me. But I'm working on them to start to identify that gift and truly to be coming out of this, whether it's 3 weeks or 30 days or 60 days, with an idea of serving and helping others. And I think that's a big deal that we could all maybe come out of this identifying how we can better do that.
Well, it's going to change the way we communicate for a little while, and I think the teenagers.
Maybe we'll be a little sweeter. Maybe we'll be a little kinder to each other as humans. Maybe we'll have a little more empathy.
Here's what I think: if we are kind, we're going to be kind to the people that we're stuck with. Like your family is your tribe, and you are stuck with them.
So instead of going,
learn how to communicate.
You just look how easy that it took 3 seconds, and then you just switch it.
Yeah, so you're stuck with each other. How are you going to make it through? And so psychologically, emotionally, you're all in this together.
Yeah, cabin fever, agitated, no bueno.
No. So
good.
Communication, and I think for us, we're gonna, as adults who are over 40, probably gonna learn a lot of skills, right?
Well, we get very used to our ways.
Yeah.
Over 40, you masters out there, we get very used to having things done our way because we're in a lot of control over that now.
We don't have routine anymore.
And
either,
this is going to be tough for
and then the unknown.
folks.
I think that's my biggest panic, is the unknown. I just don't know, and I think that's the control freak.
It's funny, I'm not freaking out about the unknown.
Because you're not curious.
Yeah, I'm not a very curious person.
So when I don't know, and my curiosity is and then I start reading, and then I get anxious.
Yeah.
I kind of like it. Yeah.
Yesterday, by the way, we had an amazing day. It's worth 15 seconds.
Oh my gosh.
We literally disconnected from our phones for about 6 to 7 hours.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
So
we were so light at the end of the day.
We
were so light. It was wonderful. It was great.
Light. We played a lot.
Listen,
had a good time.
Avoiding the sabotage of your hard-earned fitness and health, or even in the program that you are currently executing or about to execute. We're going to kind of finish up with that, and we just want to absolutely implore you to stay with it. You've worked really hard. Please don't undo 90 days, 6 months, a year of hard work. Don't let it become undone because of 2 to 3 weeks where you got distracted, got thrown off the tracks. You're going to have, like I said 20 minutes ago, you're going to be inundated with ways to stay active and be fit. Everybody wants to train you, okay? In the fitness industry, we're looking for clients, but you have to really stick to that. Whether it's them or just you, and you had enough experience training your body that you know what to do, we're just going to implore you, please don't let those results become undone.
And if you can't have higher activity, then the lower portion is going to be calorie. That's going to be hard because you're stuck with you're stuck with access. I used to get people that are like, their biggest problem was that they weren't eating. My fear is now the biggest problem is Publix, BOGO, peanut M&Ms, and peanut Ben and Jerry's,
boredom,
or BOGO everything, and boredom. And then you have snacks. So look at it differently. Like maybe just pretend that you're at a retreat and you're only given these certain meals, or that this is the day you're going to do a 16-hour
4 crackers,
fast.
2 pieces of cheese.
Well, no, you want to be smart about it. I'm not saying restrict your food or nutrition, because you need proper nutrition. You need protein, you need fresh fruits and vegetables. You need to be working on maintaining a balanced immune system.
Talk about activity levels, because we wanted to address activity levels, and we're going to speak very generally, so please understand these are general guidelines, but go for it.
If you don't have something at home like a treadmill or something where you can go for long distance with cardiovascular and get that calorie burn, and if we're stuck inside and we can't get access outside, right? Like they're just shutting down the town, they want you to stay inside for the safety of you and others around you, then you're going to have to figure out the calorie burn inside, whether with a DVD, a group class on television, a Gaia app, a personal trainer who set up a program for you, any one of those things. Your calorie level output is not going to be high. Your calorie intake needs to be a little bit lower. I'm not talking below your basal metabolic rate, right? I'm just trying to prevent people from overindulging, all right, out of an emotional desire to satisfy the anxiety or pressure that they're feeling, and they're feeding that. Don't buy into that. Either make your meal prep not because you're going to be busy, meal prep because you want to make sure that you have proper portions. And if you already plated up, the chances of you over serving yourself are decreased. Okay, so
let's bring it down to my level of brain activity. Okay, if you're going to move your body an hour or more a day in some version of fitness, then you can probably hold on to a fairly normal diet that you're used to, that you consider to be healthy. If you're going to not have access, exactly what she said, for whatever reasons, you're not going to have as much access to no access to really move your body. Maybe your job actually moves your body. Your job requires you to move your body throughout the day. When you take away those 1,000 calories that you're not burning at work anymore, you have to adjust your diet potentially to a little bit more protein based, a little less carbohydrate based. If your activity level basically stays roughly the same pre-corona, then you have to eat the same way, the carbs and the proteins, or what you're used to eating.
Now, if you eat well, you want to make sure that you're maintaining, but maybe instead of taking away, you're adding more vegetables. Instead of saying I'm going to restrict myself on that, maybe just say I'm going to add in some more green leafy vegetables. But that's a
lower activity thinking, which is perfect.
And vegetables are free foods.
Right, I've got you. But lower activity, a little more protein-based meal planning, higher activity or normal activity. My activity actually may go up because I'm going to have cabin fever. So
we're trainers, and that's
it is. But I'm going to be on my bike. I'm going to go for a 2-hour ride. I'm going to go run the causeways. I'm going to go do stuff that maybe I don't really do. Right. So
first and foremost, get outside, go play, take your kids with you, run on the beach, kick a soccer ball, play tennis, ride your bike in the woods, go walk in the woods, go whatever you can do, whatever you have.
But that allows you to keep that carbohydrate protein mix fairly balanced instead of low activity where you increase some of those proteins and decrease the overall calorie that goes in your mouth.
There's just a lot that you can do, and we'll probably check back next week when we do our
we'll know more.
Number 8.
We'll know more.
We'll know more. So it'll be interesting, interesting little documentation of how we are going week by week.
We could do that.
And we'll talk about it. I'd like to actually talk to other fitness instructors in the industry. So that'll be a good future podcast, is reaching out to our fitness instructor friends around the world and seeing what the impact is for them and how they are handling it. So I think that would be great.
We'll either bring
next
someone
week.
in live to sit with us
Right.
locally, or we'll just go
Social
and
distancing.
well you can't really, we don't have the opportunity to go fly to California and set up the podcast these days. So we'll either have them come in live with us locally,
Or on
or
the
we'll
phone.
take somebody that's a really good friend of ours in the network of the industry across the U.S. and we'll bring them in on a call and get their opinion on some stuff. So I think we're good here.
Well, I wanted you guys to know that we are here for you, and we're praying that everyone stays safe and healthy. It's just so like something I've never experienced, and I know it's new for everyone. So be patient, be good humans. I talk about that all the time. Please think about other people, because this is gonna really, we're either gonna shine or not. So I'm hoping that everyone kind of has it with them to say, no one's causing this, right? It's no one's fault. It
how we
just is.
respond.
It's how we respond to it. So have a great attitude about it. We'll be back with next week's podcast and let you know. But we're here on themastersfitness.com. You can message us on
Absolutely.
Facebook
Please
or
do.
Instagram with questions. And look at Facebook and Instagram, because we're definitely going to hype up a little bit more of our posts, because I want to know how you guys are doing out there. Check
And we
us
could
out.
use that next week, actually.
Yeah. If you want us to talk about your business, if you need any advertising for your business, maybe you're doing a little more online with recent events, let us know, and we have a sponsorship package for you. Or if you just want to hear more and want to help us actually bring these podcasts to you for a longer period of time, we also have a listener sponsor program as well. So we will see you next week.
Adios.